Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub Pub Sports Radio, Thursday, October 21st. Ian Cameron with Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, Billy Briz in the house, ready to break down a three-game NBA card, a short slate. Usually it's like that on Thursday. We'll get to the games in just a second. First, overall, though, busy night last night. A lot of interesting results. Already game of the year in the NBA in terms of regular season game of the year. The Knicks and the Celtics, just an incredible game last night, back and forth, kind of that playoff feel, playoff intensity to it. Both teams were like, hey, we don't want to win this game. We'll give it to you. Had that kind of back and forth feel to it. But the Knicks end up emerging with the victory last night over the Celtics. Great basketball game, double OT, 138-134. We were talking before the show started, a really good night for a couple of Knicks in particular. Julius Randle, sensational. RJ Barrett hit some big-time buckets, 6 of 11, 3 for 7 from three-point range. Fournier, 32-point explosion in his Knick debut. Doing what he's supposed to do, right? Make big shots, make threes. He did that. 6 of 13 from long distance for Fournier last night. But Knicks find a way in a very thrilling game against the Celtics. We saw the Philadelphia 76ers. No Ben Simmons, no problem. Obviously, there shouldn't be a problem without that guy because he really doesn't make you better in my mind. So they beat up the Pelicans 117-97. Sacramento, Portland. Sacramento, how about taking down Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, and spoiling the debut of Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups, as they used to say in Detroit. 124-121 for Sacramento. Nice win for them in that game. Raptors first home game, doesn't matter. Washington was just better start to finish, 98-83. Bulls, heavily hyped team. They win and cover over the Pistons. Indiana.
It was sweaty, though. That was a sweaty game.
It was very sweaty. You're 100% right. They made it very difficult on Chicago backers. We had the Pacers blow a huge lead against Charlotte. And even with Rick Carlisle, some of those blown leads that they suffered last year came back to haunt them again in game one as Charlotte all the way back to win 123-122. My best bet of the night was Minnesota. They thump Houston last night. That's going to be a bet against team for me moving forward. Again, the Rockets. And same with Oklahoma City. These two teams, you may not get a point spread high enough to stop betting against either of these teams right now. The Thunder and the Rockets, they both get whipped last night in their respective games. So fascinating first full night of the NBA regular season. Dutch, what were some of the games and results that stuck out to you from last night?
Yeah, man. Yesterday's card was a beautiful thing. I'll say that. We'll keep it moving too. Real quick, shout out to the chat, the real ones. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Take a minute, hit the motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this plane. A Blackwater OG, get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing yesterday. 3-1 on the show. Tweeted out some late night action as we talked about. I was feeling them West Coast games. Went 3-0 on sides and totals with the Nuggets, the Keys, and that over. We hit the freshest look with De'Aaron Fox, easy money. And I did mention as well, Harrison Barnes over 14.5 points. The motherfucker dropped 36. I believe a fucking high NBA record for him, 8 threes. A league high for him. So, he was feeling himself. I told you I like what I seen from him in preseason. Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for a minute, man. God damn it. But yeah, I was feeling what I was liking in Sacramento. It was a beautiful thing there. When we look at that Knicks game, I stayed off the Knicks. I think, it was a great game. It came down. The Knicks had that game in the fourth quarter. They gave it away, which allowed me to get the RJ Barrett props, so I wasn't mad at it. I was hoping actually for a Celtics pull out at the end, but Tatum, I think Wham probably touched on that a little bit. MIA, man, MIA. So but yeah, overall beautiful. I think the Hornets got a big win coming back against the Pacers. I was impressed with that. I was really impressed with what I seen with Denver though. We'll touch on that game tonight. We have a team that gets handled in the playoffs, gets swept. You see they come with a little bit different mental mindset to just not a regular open season game when you're playing someone who punked you in the playoffs. So Denver took advantage of that, and I think we'll see someone else take advantage of that tonight. But I'm eager to get back to the card and get going.
All right, Trot Wham, what did you think of some of the games last night?
Well, it was a good night overall, but it was the thing that just stabbed me right in the back was the Celtics. And my guy Dutch brought it up. Jason Tatum just couldn't find the hole. Couldn't get the ball in the hoop, bro. It just really
was off all
seemed
night.
Like it was flat on his jumpers. A lot of times and they all got tired towards the end. That's the reason why I believe it went to second overtime. But in my opinion, it just seems like the Celtics probably should have won that game. Definitely was disappointed in Dennis Schroeder the way he came up towards the end as well. But neither here nor there because we did cash some big tickets, though. We did have the Denver Nuggets first quarter at plus 145. That was a good play. Again, we talked about that during the preview. Denver first quarters tend to work out. And that was something that Dushy brought up as well, that was a game that they circled. They got blown out. The Suns in 4 situation was something that was ringing through the season, off season. They made sure they took care of business there. And I also, we cashed out as well on the first half Minnesota, and we did also do pretty good with the first half Memphis as well. But other than that, man, I was kind of sour. I wanted to sweep the board, but it's all gravy. But here another week, man, another day. I said another week, but another day.
Profit is a profit.
It's profit is profit. That's how it is, man. Just dust off the shoulders.
Yeah, people always say to me, what are you so excited about? Your plus 0.2 units of profit. You had an eight unit profit day last week or whatever. I'm like, profit's profit to me. I'm happy anytime there's a plus sign next to the ledger at the end of the day. I don't care how much or how little. Your profit, you're doing something right. Billy, who was with us Tuesday, he did something right because his best bet, I remember it, was Curry over rebounds and assists in the Golden State game, and it was a no sweat winner on Tuesday night. Billy, how did last night treat you?
Last night treated me well, man. It was kind of a chalky night, man. I'm not really a parlay NBA guy, but the Jazz and the Bulls can't get any easier than that. Kind of got screwed over by the Sixers blowout because I had a Curry prop and Furkan Korkmaz looked like the second coming of Michael Jordan or something because that dude went red hot in the fourth quarter.
He had
18 points.
For sure.
Yeah. The Knicks, though, I will say, the Knicks got a lot better, though. I will say that. Watching that game last night, they added a lot more pieces than I thought they would. But I think the biggest thing that's going to be the problem with the Knicks this year is they're not developing their young players correctly. Like O.D. Toppin, really good player. He played a lot last night. It was good to see him out on the floor, but they need to trade Emmanuel quickly so Quickly can go get buckets somewhere else because Quickly was not on the floor.
Quickly needs to go quickly.
Did you see the shots he was shooting? His ass don't belong on the goddamn court. He think he's Steph fucking Curry, bro.
Quickly is
and I'm a fan.
Good ball hog. There's ball hogs in life. There's good and bad ball hogs. He's in a good ball hog.
He's not good enough to be a ball hog, bro.
And then
I love his floater. His floater look nice.
Luke Walton. One last thing on the Luke Walton thing.
Lukey.
Bro, y'all drafted Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic, and he's not even in the rotation anymore. It's crazy. They got Lucky Harrison Barnes look like he was in college again or something because I don't know what was up with dude. He was hitting everything.
Man, come on, Billy. Leave Luke alone, man. One time he can shine. After game 1-0. Beat Portland in P-Town. Leave him alone, man. Come on, man.
I think it's gonna be a long year.
Yeah. Sacramento, though, low-key got some talent, man. They do, but it'll be Sacramento. Yeah. They'll be fighting for that 10 seed and probably miss it. But I mean, shit. I like what I see from an offensive perspective with Sacramento. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's D'ing up. We can say that about so many teams, but especially Sacramento. But how can you disagree? How can you not like the backcourt with Fox and Halliburton, especially if Ty Halliburton's healthy this year? It's a good backcourt to start with. It's going to come down to, again, what kind of the bench is still, suspect for them. You're right. It's shocking that all the draft capital they spent on Marvin Bagley and the guy is now an afterthought for Luke Walton in this Sacramento rotation.
It's
one last thing, though, Babano. That Toronto and Washington game, I don't know what was up with that game, but that was one of the most funniest games I've watched all year because Toronto got smacked. Toronto might be bad. That's a bad team. Like watching
they
that
were
team,
last
that
night.
was trash. The Wizards were trash, and that was the best moment last night. Besides the Knicks game was Montrezl Harrell yelling at Drake, saying, "I'm blowing your team the F out," and then he got the tech. And then Montrezl Harrell with 24 points last night. I guess he needed a new place because he was looking like he was playing in the Drew League again or something. Like he was playing summer basketball. He was looking good last night.
We're going to find out this year what kind of true fucking ambassador of the Toronto Raptors Drake is, because it's fine and dandy to show up there in your little courtside seat when you're going to the finals and winning the championship 2 years ago. But what if this team has a bad year? Are you going to be there on a Wednesday night when you're playing when you're playing the Sacramento Kings on a Wednesday night and you're 10 games below 500? I want to see if Drake and his little buddy there on his record label is there sitting at courtside then. Let's see if you're true fans. Let's see if you're a true ambassador. This team's like 20 games out, in March, and it's a Wednesday night, and you're taking on the little old Sacramento Kings. Let's see if you're showing up for the game.
I don't know, but man, Drake's
yeah.
a weird dude. He's the type of dude to go to the bar and
Yeah.
buy out the whole bar just to be there by himself. Like, he a weird guy.
He is. He beats to his own drum. That's the best way to put it with him. He does. He's got his own
about Drake's
vibe
ass,
to
man.
him. Yeah, he does. There's no question. All right, we're going to beat to the Thursday drum right now on the NBA card. 3 games. Let's start with Dallas and Atlanta. We got the Hawks into the ATL, 2-point home favorites here, 225 the total in this game. ESPN's already playing it up earlier today that this is the Luka versus Trae Young game. They traded for one another in the 2018 draft. Drafted by Atlanta was Doncic. Drafted by Dallas was Young, and now they're playing for the opposing team. And this is a make your mark game today. Hold on, guys. Come on. It's one regular season game. Let's go. Let's calm down here. It's not a legacy game for Trae Young. It's not a legacy game for Luka Doncic. It's game number 1 of the regular season for both teams. That's all it is. So let's take it down, with the hype machine a little bit going into this one. I'm looking forward to it. It's because it's 2 teams that were playoff teams last year. We know Atlanta. They played their best basketball second half of the year once Lloyd Price was let go and Nate McMillan came on board. And really, that's when things turned around for the Atlanta Hawks last year. They played good ball down the stretch. I thought they played pretty admirably against the Bucks. They just ran into just a superior Milwaukee team last year in the playoffs. Dallas on the other side, Clippers, they end up losing in the playoffs last year to them. It's a Dallas team. I know a couple of my colleagues, I think a little bit higher on Dallas than some other people, but there's still question marks of just how truly better the roster is going into this game. I think from a prop standpoint, I lean Atlanta, by the way, tonight at home, but I'm not going to be on the game side or total. I'm just involved in some props here tonight. You can't go wrong with I've got the points, rebounds, and assists over, all 3 for Trae tonight. I think Luka as well. These are 2 guys that are going to be hearing about it from the media, the trade. And, even though it's just one game, I think they'll both play well. I like Hunter as well. DeAndre Hunter for Atlanta. This is a guy that in the preseason, I think you saw him really get some opportunities. He's healthy finally, too. Let's not forget that. Injuries just marred his season last year. Totally different story this year for DeAndre Hunter. And I think you're going to see him get up and over his point total tonight. So Hunter and Trae Young. Hunter, I just like over points. Trae Young, I'm on over points, rebounds, and assists in this game. And I'm on Luka the Don, as Dutch calls him. Over his point total tonight. That's what I'm looking at in terms of props. I didn't bet the side or total, but I lean Atlanta. And because I lean Atlanta, I'm going to serve you well, Eric Chang. You got to do the Hawks call saying yes. Atlanta Hawks right now to get the job done here against the Dallas Mavericks tonight. What do you think here, Dutch? We'll start with you, Dallas, Atlanta.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, Harold Williams. He likes the Mavs in the over. There's our guy Ray Charles. He went with Luka over 7.5, like that. Shout out to our dog Nate Dog. Everybody in the chat, like he said, hit the motherfucking like button. Much appreciated. Black Thor, he likes the under in this game. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this game, I like this game a lot. I can't lie. And I'm a big Luka the Don guy. He's probably my favorite motherfucking player in this league nowadays, man. Yeah, I don't see him too much on the social doing all the bullshit. He's playing basketball year round, looking like he's in better shape too. So I do believe the props are juiced, and there's and I see better value on this card than taking Luka. So like I mentioned this morning on Jimmy's show, I mean, I love everything about points, rebounds, and assists with Luka over 29. Like you mentioned, Ian, competitive with Trae Young, but to me, I think Luka knows this guy's Trae Young's not really on his level, man. All around game, Luka's just fucking better. But I can see them both going competitive at each other. That obviously is going to be a topic that they talk about and is obviously in their mind. But like I mentioned on the show with Jimmy, I think the assist with Trae Young is going to be big. What I was missing here, my bad, I lost my train of thought there. Luka is just going to be too juiced up a little bit. Now, I love the prop there, the triple-double with plus 475. He averaged 27, 9, and 12, I believe, in against them. My fault. Yeah, 27, 12, and 9 in the last 2 meetings versus Atlanta, Luka's average. So it's right there, man. So you're going to give me plus 475. All the other props were a little juice for me, like I mentioned, but I do believe he'll have a big game. But I'm definitely looking at Trae Young over 8.5 assists. Last 3 meetings, average 11 assists versus this team. I think he's, if you look at the roster, they have fucking guys everywhere. You touched on Hunter Ian. Gallinari's going to be out of the lineup, but they got studs everywhere. Bogdanovich, John Collins. They really just have players everywhere. Capel's good for a couple little lobs inside. I think 8.5 assists at -105 for Trae Young is real easy money, to be honest with you. I am on the Hawks. I'll just pretty much give out a little bit what I said this morning because I was on Jimmy's show. I love the Hawks in this spot. I just think they're a better team. We touched on the roster. I don't think the Mavericks got any better. I know they got Reggie Bullock, but they didn't upgrade. I don't believe in it from a defensive aspect in the front or back court. But I think they're gonna be close. If you got Luka, the best player on the court, you're gonna be in this game. But when it matters, I simply believe Atlanta will win this game. Now they are 18-4 ATS in their last 22 at home, so Atlanta does handle business at home, and I do believe they have the better coach. Still a lot of questions with Jason Kidd, and the Mavs are 2-6 ATS in their last 8 in Atlanta, so they really haven't made play too well on that trip already. And I don't believe they're a better team under Jason Kidd than they are with Rick Carlisle, and they didn't improve, like I mentioned. So I like that. But I got a couple more looks here. I'll be quick. John Collins, I touched on it briefly earlier on Jimmy's show. The guy's averaging the last 4 meetings versus the Mavs, 32-12. Gets what he wants, shooting at a prolific fucking percentage from the field. Over 15.5 points at even money. Easy money right there. Over 15.5 points even. And I did also like our guy, Tim Hardaway Jr., over 16.5 points, average 23.5 the last 3 games versus Atlanta. I like the matchup. I don't like Atlanta from a defensive perspective. Realistically, I don't like either one of these backcourts from a defensive perspective. So I haven't locked that in anything official on Tim Hardaway Jr. Maybe the panel can touch on that, see what they think. But it was 16.5, -110, so nothing crazy, but that does look like a solid number.
Yeah, I think John Collins, I'm seeing double John Collins plus 220. I like that. I think that's doable for him.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the glass.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's going
nice.
to be
That's
on the
in
glass.
And out, baby.
Yeah, he's going to be on the glass, rebounding. He can get you at least 10 points for sure. Collins plus 220, double. I think that's worth some kind of bet as well. And you mentioned Atlanta's record at home, Dutch, the ATS record. Since McMillan took over, they went 27-11 last year straight up. And just from a straight up standpoint at home, the Hawks 23-6, in their last 29 home games. They developed quite a strong home court there in Atlanta. And what I like too in the offseason with this Atlanta team, they got the contract extensions they got Trae under contract long-term, Collins, Clint Capella, Kevin Huerter, the redheaded stepchild. They're all back here for this Atlanta team. And now I think there's that sense of, what we did last year was nice. We want to take it a step further this year. And that's why I think tonight they get off on the right foot, get the victory. I think you see a good performance here from Atlanta tonight on their home floor. What do you think here, Trot? Wham, what do you think here with Dallas, Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm riding with you guys. I think Atlanta is probably going to play really well here. I do like Dallas. I am pretty high on Dallas, just like you said, and I'm pretty high on Dallas. And I think Reggie Bullock probably did help their defense out. I know he's going to play a lot better than Josh Richardson. I'll just say that much. But as far as new coaches, man, it seems like the new coaches have been getting their ass kicked. Yesterday we could just talk about a few of them here. We talked about Chauncey Billups. Maybe Jason Kidd is next here for the new coaches for new things. Rick Carlisle lost. It's his first year there. Other guys that end up losing as well. So especially Boston. We could talk about Boston as well. That was his first year for him as well. So a lot of those guys lost yesterday. That could be a trend here that we got to keep our eye on. But I think that this definitely a better coaching situation for the Hawks. They're probably going to be deeper for sure. I like Cam Reddish being healthy here. He was hurt last year, trying to get himself back in the mix in the midst of the playoffs. So I think he'll be playing a lot better. And you said my favorite person on this team is DeAndre Hunter. He was demanding double teams last year before he got hurt. Demanding double teams in the post, bro. Watch out for him, man. DeAndre Hunter is definitely one of those guys. Definitely going to be a most improved candidate for sure if he continues to stay healthy. I like him a lot. So I think that's probably the good look there. I got him in at -2.5, so I did get the worst of the line here. You can get -2 right now for the Hawks. I think that's definitely the play there. That's the play I made on here. I didn't really look too much in props because I tried to dibble dabble in it a little bit yesterday, got splattered, so I ain't about to just jump back into there yet. See if we get some some stats here that will make a little bit more adjustments there.
Yeah, I'm with you on DeAndre Hunter. Healthy again, the knee injury, that's debilitating. Takes a while to come back from that. Might be one of my favorite player props on the entire card tonight is that one. DeAndre Hunter over 13.5 points tonight in this game. What do you think here, Billy Briz, Dallas, Atlanta?
Side-wise, I can't really confidently pick a side. I don't know if you guys remember, Clint Capella tore his Achilles, and he was really on a strict minutes limit during the preseason, where he only played one preseason game in the dress rehearsal, and he only played 18 minutes. To be honest with you, I really don't think he plays more than 25 minutes tonight. And without Dalino Gallinari, they're kind of thin in the front court. And bam, what's that center from the kid that played with LaMelo Ball in high school? He went to USC. What's his name?
He was a baller. Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot his name.
Awachu or something like that. He's out. He's out as well. So, I really don't know what they're going to do up front. You're probably going to see DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish probably swinging some minutes. Gorgie Dang, new addition to the team, probably get some minutes. So, I kind of don't really know how that's going to translate. I kind of am with Dutch on that Johns Collins rebounds one because him and Clint kind of have the same rebound projection, but John Collins is at 8.5, Clint Capella is at 10.5. Why wouldn't you just take John Collins? So I do like that one. I didn't make a move on it. The only thing I moved on, I guess I'm a homer. Bogdan Bogdanović over 18.5 points and assists. Dude's a hooper. He's healthy coming into the season. Bogdan's a hooper. He gets to a bucket, and it's only 18.5. I have him projected for 15.5 points as his player projection. So if he can get 4 assists, he should easily cover that. On the Dallas side, I don't know what Jason Kidd's going to do. It's not like Carlisle in the front court. Maxi Kleber won't be playing 25 to 28 minutes. That's dead. So I really don't know what they're going to do. Is Dwight Powell about to really be out here playing center minutes? If so, yeah, Atlanta really might smack Dallas. So I don't blame you guys for leaning that side. It would be interesting to see what Jason Kidd's going to do with playing Luka because they kind of just let Luka beat Luka. Overall, though, Dallas – not really anything I can feel confident on without knowing their rotational minutes. Overall, feels kind of like a dead game. I kind of like the over on it, though. 225.5 for these two teams kind of seems a little bit low.
All right, so lean to the over, but not one of the strongest games tonight for Dallas, Atlanta. I like how Trotwam said earlier, Josh Richardson, we're getting a replacement for him. You're not setting the bar high. I thought he was a total disappointment for the Mavericks for much of his time there. So we'll see if things are a little bit better without him on the floor now for Dallas. We'll see. Next up, we've got Milwaukee and Miami. Next up, this should be a really good one. Looking forward to seeing how this one plays out between these two teams. We've got obviously Milwaukee open to 1.5, 2-point road favorite, and now we've seen a switch of favorites here with Miami now laying 2.5 in this game as home favorites. 223.5 the total in this game, and obviously the Miami situation with their injuries and their absences tonight is the reason for that. They've already announced that we won't see. Obviously, DiVincenzo missed the last game, but Drew Holiday is out. Brooke Lopez is out. Bobby Portis is out for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. So you're definitely looking at a shorthanded Milwaukee lineup. But still, you're going to look at Hill, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Jordan Nwora, and Giannis as the starting 5 tonight for the Heat. For the Bucks, rather. The Heat, Victor Oladipo, the only one out for them going into the game tonight. They're going to obviously have their starting 5 listed right now as Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo to start this game tonight for Eric Spoelstra's Miami team. It's a combination of things as to not only the injuries, but I think the spot too. Milwaukee certainly was amped up for ring ceremony night, banner raising night in Milwaukee against Brooklyn. They played one hell of a game there at home. Now you're going on road here, taking on this Miami team that I'm very, very high on. Dutch is as well. So it's not a shock to me that I did bet Miami here. I got +1. Probably just take money line now if you haven't bet it already. I do think the Heat are sitting in a good situation here. I mean, it's not like Milwaukee won't be fired up, but I could see this being a little bit of a come down, from the sky a little bit, if you will, from that game against Brooklyn the other night for Milwaukee, especially with them injury riddled and banged up a little bit. I think the Heat have what it takes to get it done here in this game. So I took them at +1. I'd still recommend them now. It's up to 2.5. I'd probably say take the money line now. Minus 130, minus 140 is what you can get with the Heat on the money line. This is a prop game that I like a lot in terms of player props. There's a bunch that I'm looking toward for this game, starting with Tyler Hero. I bet him for sixth man of the year this year. He's 14.5 in terms of his player prop. The preseason, again, it's preseason. You don't want to go overboard with praise in the preseason, but he looks like he's got a different mindset, a guy that's hell-bent on being a much more impactful player this year for the Heat. So I like Hero over 14.5 points. And I even went a bit further as well and ended up getting on board as well with the points, assists, and rebounds for Tyler Hero as well tonight in this game, which is at 21.5. I think you have a good night from him. The Grayson Allen prop, I mentioned him against Brooklyn, 10.5. Guess what he ends up with? 10 points the other night against against Brooklyn. Frustrating. But look, with Drew Holiday, someone else is going to have to be more of an offensive impact tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. And you would think Grayson Allen, among others, but in particular, Grayson Allen is going to be that guy for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. So we missed out on that prop last night. It fell just a half a point short. His player prop tonight's 11.5. It's only 1 point higher, and I think he's going to have to be more of a volume shooter tonight with no Drew Holiday on the basketball floor. So over 11.5 for me with Grayson Allen tonight in the game as well. Jimmy Butler, can never argue with that. I think Kyle Lowry, from an assists standpoint, I'd be interested in that as well. Not so much as a scorer. You've got other guys. You got Duncan. You've got a Hero, I think, is going to have a good night offensively. Butler, I think Lowry over assists to something to consider in this game. It's a guy that's going to want to show off what he can bring to this Miami Heat team. So Lowry over 6.5 assists. I think it's doable. You can get over that number. So there's a bunch of props I like in this one. Dutch, we'll go to you. What do you like? Milwaukee, Miami.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Preston. Brian Watson, I believe, said minus 1.5 you could get bet 365 on the Heat, which I do like the Heat. If you watched this morning, I love the Heat. I was on them plus 120. I love this Heat here in this spot. I wish Brooke didn't get announced out. I already had a feeling that Drew was going to be either limited, probably wouldn't play with that heel. So I was all over Miami in this spot. We lost a little bit of value here, but I clearly think Miami's going to win this game. Shouldn't be a problem winning by 3 points, 2 or 3, whatever we need. Simply, I believe this is a Miami spot. We watched last night when we watched Denver. Teams think about, like I mentioned earlier, like we talked about. So, I look at this Miami in a spot where they got their ass fucking whooped, by the Bucks in the playoffs. I believe they lost all 4. If it wasn't 4, it was a gentleman's sweep. But yeah, from my perspective, I look at Kyle Lowry to make this team a better. And pretty much, Ian, you said everything, that I think about Miami as well. I think Jimmy Butler will be able to attack. I like Hero in the spot, but I also think Duncan Robinson can really get off. I believe Bam will be able to attack inside, rebounds, or points. I just like Miami all around in this spot. I hate that we lost so much value by the time we did this show because it was plus 120 this morning. But Miami's still to play to me clearly. I touched on Giannis. It probably is up even more now this morning. I like the rebounds. He's averaged 15 in the last 4 meetings versus Miami. He's going to get his, but it was at 12.5 and it was juice. So it's probably even up more now with Brook Lopez being out. But Drew Holiday is the second best player on this team. That's right. He is the second best player on this team behind Giannis. I said that shit, Razor. But but yeah, so him being out of the lineup is nothing to sneeze at. Believe that. You're gonna be counting on Middleton is gonna have to go for fucking 35 plus. Giannis gonna have to do the same. It's not gonna happen. Like I mentioned earlier, they're feeling a little fat and heavy. They punked the Nets, and everybody's got the Nets. And even Vegas got them being the fucking favorites to win the title. So they thought about that. They seen that. They got their rings. They're feeling good. I don't think they're really going to be thinking about this game too much. Miami is, and they'll show it on the court. I look for them to take this game serious from start to finish. Easy win for Miami at home. With the injuries that we've seen from Milwaukee now, I believe it will be somewhat of an easy win.
One more prop I forgot to mention. I don't bet many steals props. Jimmy Butler over 1.5 steals. I like that one tonight as well. This guy's very good in terms of forcing turnovers, active hands on the defensive end of the floor as well. Can force, some bad decisions and haphazard play with the basketball.
Yeah, I would lean to the under too, and stating that too. I would lean under. I think that we're going to see the best defensive team on the floor tonight in Miami in the league, as long as they play healthy. And then Milwaukee is no slouch too, especially losing some scores. This could be an under here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Milwaukee tonight. It's going to be I think a slower pace. I think Miami's going to be one of the best defensive teams, and we know Milwaukee. Look, you got to hand it to Milwaukee. Their defense in the second half against Brooklyn when they took that game over. That's a tough offensive team to stop, and Milwaukee just put the clamp down on Brooklyn in the second half. They are an elite defensive team as well, so I could see this being lower scoring. That's a pretty high total for what I think are two capable teams defensively at that end of the court. Wham, what do you think here? Bucks Heat.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. I like the Heat. Got him in on them early at plus 100. Definitely would endorse the money line right now at minus 130, minus 1.5. Like my guy Dutch said, I like that look there. Shout out to the chat here as well. Some of these guys do like the Heat. Yes, Drew Holiday is out, and also Brook Lopez. So they will be having some of these guys, developmental guys, playing a lot. We see what happened. Our guy Billy did call out the Nigerian brother Jordan Narara. He balled out. 35 points. I don't think he's doing that again, though. He ain't doing that again.
He might have to, though, with Brook out.
I don't think so, bro. I'm just tell you, there's a definite big drop off between the Heat's defense compared to what you see with the Brooklyn Nets defense. I'll just leave it at that. That's for sure. You're going to see a drop off there. But as far as the Heat, man, I think they're going to play pretty well in the opener for Kyle Lowry. I do like the Heat to come here and show a force and be happy that just like I believe in this next game, one of the teams that's projected to be a finalist in the NBA loses, like the Lakers and like the Nets. The team they play next, they might be able to counter themselves or be able to measure themselves off that team, and I believe that that's the case here for this team, for Miami Heat. Also, the next game is a little sneak preview. I like the next one. But, yeah, there it is there. I think that the Heat is going to pull it off. Already bet at money line. So I'll just say Heat money line is my play here.
Yeah, 15 points, 6 of 15 shooting for Jordan Nwora in the game against Brooklyn the other night. And look, he's in the starting five tonight, so the minutes are going to be there for him for Budenholzer tonight on this Bucks team. So keep an eye on this. And his point total, I don't think is it's still at 11.5 with Jordan Nwora with points. So that might be one that I'm interested in a little bit from the Milwaukee side. 15 points, and you'd think he's got to be just to make an impact tonight with the shorthanded Bucks the way they are. And starting in the starting lineup as well. It's just 11.5. Might get over that number once again. We'll see. Billy, what do you like here?
For starters, Jordan Nwora, go back to the well with him tonight. Man, going through like my projections and stuff like that, fantasy point wise, he's projected the highest home player on the slate tonight for DraftKings and FanDuel. And there's only 6 points fantasy wise that's changing between Middleton and Nwora. And you know how high Middleton's usage is when Drew Holiday's off the floor. So the projection systems are loving Jordan Nwora today. They have him projected for 30 minutes, man. And it makes sense because if you look at that front court, who else are they going to play? Thanos Antetokounmpo. He got re-signed, so he'll probably get some minutes. And then can't say this name. This name is really hard to say. Sandro Manu.
Sandro, yeah, just say Sandro.
Hall kid.
I actually had him starting.
Yeah,
I thought Fantasy Labs had him starting.
Because it makes more sense as a coach. Like, do you want to replace one guy in the starting lineup tonight and then have the other 4 guys that are used to playing with each other? Or are you going to put 3 new guys in the starting lineup that never play with each other and the bench rotation is off a little bit? So I think one of those 2 kids start with Jordan Nwora closing the game with Pat Connaughton. I think Pat Connaughton is going to get some playoff type run tonight. He's projected for 32 minutes tonight, and I think he's going to play some power forward tonight next to Giannis. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. And then on the Miami side, not really too interested on the Miami props tonight. I guess it's a pace-up spot for them, so it kind of makes sense on paper. But to be honest with you, I don't know, Big Show. You might want to hit the refresh button because that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 80% on DraftKings, 85% on FanDuel tonight for Jordan Nwora at $4,300 and $4,100. So I don't know what you're looking at, Show, but I'm going to have Jordan Nwora in every one of my lineups tonight. That dude's going to make me some bread. But on the Miami side, I agree with you with the Tyler Hero call. I guess he feels like he's that guy because he was playing like that guy in the preseason. Well, I don't think the preseason really matters, but his confidence is growing, and it kind of makes sense that his usage rating is going to go up without Kendrick Nunn being there anymore and the other ancillary backups that they have for the Heat. I definitely think Tyler Hero could definitely hit the over. I just don't know which one I want to hit, so I'm just going to lean it and not play it. I don't know if it's points, rebounds, and assists. If it's assists or rebounds, it's really hard to project him more like in one category. So I don't know, man. This game, probably going to play a Jordan Nora prop, but if you're playing daily fantasy tonight, you are doing yourself a disservice if you don't have more than four. I would say 4 Bucks players in your lineup tonight. You need 3 to 4 in your lineup tonight to win.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely, it makes sense with Nora. I mean, you see 15 points last night. Going to have to even shoulder a bigger burden tonight, you would think, with the shorthanded Bucks, with no Lopez. You're in the starting 5. You're going to get minutes. Now, hopefully the production follows, and you're probably going to cash another ticket there in that regard. Is John Horst the Bucks GM, or is it Giannis Antetokounmpo? I'm looking at this depth chart for Milwaukee, and I'm seeing a lot of Greek stallions in this depth chart. Thanasis, his brother, Antetokounmpo, Georgios Kalitzakis as well on this Greek team. It feels like it's a Greek team he's building here on this Milwaukee Bucks team. I see
the reason he
Yorgos
signed that motherfucking paper, huh?
I know. He's letting. I think the GM is being run. The team's being run by Giannis here. He's bringing his Greek friends onto the team here.
Learn from LeBron.
Yorgos
Yeah, I was just saying.
Kalitzakis. Yeah,
Be a little more quiet about it though.
yeah. So I found that funny. There's a lot more Greeks on this Bucks than a lot of other teams in the NBA, and you got to wonder if Giannis has something to do with that right now. All right, the final game, third game on this slate Thursday night. That's the only late game tonight. Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. Golden State 3.5 point home favorites. 228 the total. They did come out to play the other night, Golden State, especially in the fourth quarter against the LA Lakers. A really, really good fourth quarter from them. In a victory against the Lakers on Tuesday night. We'll see if they can bounce or could keep that going tonight after that victory. I was really impressed, though, with the Warriors rebounding and defense down the stretch, and that's where basically they sealed the game. You know, they got stops, they got the loose balls, they closed the possession strong. You know, they held the Lakers to some really bad shots down the stretch, and they were able to pull away. And for the Lakers, you know, you get 34 from LeBron, 33 from Anthony Davis, but you don't really get much of a contribution from anybody else, and a disaster for Russell Westbrook in his Laker debut. But give Golden State credit. I like that they had a great amount of balance. Wiggins, only 12 points, but a lot of his points were late, made some big shots. Steph Curry didn't shoot the ball well, but Billy liked over assists and rebounds with him on Tuesday, and he did all the little things, the intangibles, and that's why what you want to see from Curry. Those nights, he's known for his shooting, but the nights when the shot isn't going down, it's not falling, you want to see him doing other things, and he did that for Golden State. Jordan Poole, pretty good night from the floor, 8 of 18, 20 points. Damian Lee was solid, chipped in 15 points as well. Nemanja Bjelica, wow. I mean, one of the best performances of the night for him, notching a double-double, 15 points in the win. The old veteran Iguodala stepped up with double figures in scoring. It was contributions from a variety of sources for Golden State, and I like seeing that going into this game. I don't know what the Clippers are going to do right now going into the year, because we look at this team a little bit disjointed starting the season. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard's going to be out for a long period of time. Nicholas Batum is going to be out tonight as well for the LA Clippers. Serge Ibaka is also ruled out. So you've got no Kawhi, you've got no Ibaka, no Batum. You're going to go with Reggie Jackson, Eric Bledsoe, Paul George, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubats as your starting 5 tonight for this team. You know, I'm not an Eric Bledsoe guy. And if you think I don't like Eric Bledsoe, listen to our boy Ski Prophet. He has not said anything good about Eric Bledsoe in the past. And yeah, I just don't see how, you know, he's going to be a big time impact. He had a terrible preseason shooting the basketball. This guy averaged 4 points in the preseason. The shot completely evaded him. And with the way Golden State defended, especially in the fourth quarter against the Lakers, I think the Clippers have real offensive problems right now. You're going to need a lot from Reggie Jackson. For that reason, even though I've got concerns about the Clippers, this has got to be a night where Reggie Jackson's a focal point for the Clippers. He's got to do it. He did shoot well in the playoffs, remember, last year for the Clippers. There were nights when he was saving their ass offensively. And I think he's going to have to really do a lot because someone's got to pick up the production you lose with Kawhi, the production you're going to lose from Batum, who can give you offense as well. Who's going to do that? Who would you choose on this Clippers team? I can't rely on Bledsoe right now. He couldn't shoot the ball in the ocean from what I saw in the preseason. It's got to be Reggie Jackson right now. That's got to be the guy you bank on, other than, of course, Paul George will give you lots of points. But Reggie's going to have to be the guy that really steps up here for the Clippers. So with that being said, in this game, I do like his point total prop over in this game. Reggie Jackson over 15.5 points. You could go with points, assists, and rebounds as well. But I like the point prop, especially for Reggie, over 15.5 here in this game. Like I said, the Nemanja Bjelica, I hope I'm not too late. It feels like I could be a day late and a dollar short, but he got a double-double the other night. It's 17-1 for him to get one tonight. I think that's definitely something you could look at in this game. As far as the side goes, I cashed a ticket with Golden State against the Lakers, and I'm high on Golden State and I'm anti-Clippers. So you basically know where I'm going in this game. I'd lay the points with Golden State -3, -3.5 in this one. I think the Clippers could be, to be honest with you, especially with Kawhi not back anytime soon. The defense was disappointing at times last year. Their offense sometimes didn't work. If they get off to a really slow start, you could find this team, forget the top 4 or 5 seeds in the West. They could be battling just to get in. In terms of 6, 7, 8 seed, you could find this team just battling for their playoff lives this year, this Clippers team. So that's where I think that's where they could end up being when it's all said and done. So I do like the Warriors once again tonight. We'll lay the 3.5 points with Golden State. Dutch, what do you like here? Clippers, Warriors.
Yeah, sure. I got Nathan, Ray Charles, Eric Chang. He says he likes the over. Ray Charles likes the Paul George over 25.5. And, I'm not mad at that. PG got to get his, bro. He got to get his. So, but everything you said, Ian, I can kind of just, I could just repeat it, but I don't really have to. I agree completely with it, bro. Completely with it. Everything you said, the missing pieces. I'm not big on Bledsoe, the backcourt. I'm not high on it. I do think Reggie's going to have to, he's going to get his attempts. And Reggie's Reggie. You know what I mean? He's Reggie. That's about it. I don't like the front court. I look for the Warriors, to really take advantage as the game goes on. From a bench aspect, I think they're deep. You named them first quarter. They're playing deep. They didn't lose a game in the preseason. I know it's preseason, but hey, they got a little chip on their shoulders. They showed it against the Lakers. I think Steve Kerr is coaching with a little chip. They're playing team basketball. They're doing the small things. Like you mentioned, Steph Curry didn't have the best game. To only 21 points. Did have the great 10 the triple-double with the 10 points and 10 assists. Great call from Billy once again, with that. But, you beat the Lakers in L.A. and your best player goes for only 21. Draymond has 6 points. Wiggins has, I believe, dropped 17. Not a great game all around from realistically from the starters. So Jordan Poole did have a nice game. But that bench is deep. 55 points they put up on the Lakers. They shared the ball, like I mentioned, 30 assists. They out-rebounded the Lakers, which is surprising to me. They work. They're deep, and if you're not working, they're going to put somebody in there that's going to work. I think they'll outwork the Clippers. I don't believe the Clippers are deep enough with the injuries, and without Kawhi, without Beverly, I'm interested to see what kind of tone they have because it looks like it could be a little bit more softer around the locker room without those two in there. And no Submerge. You mentioned the injury, so I think this is a clear Warrior spot. They are 7-0, like I mentioned earlier, against the spread the last 7 times they touched the court. And I just think they got a chip. They're going to take advantage of it. I was looking to back this team a little bit more once Clay and Wiseman came back, but it looks like they're ready to rock and roll. And they're, 8 deep, easy. Iggy out there looking like he's 25 again. So I think the Warriors will handle business by 4 quarters.
Yeah, I agree. It was 6 or 7 different Warriors that were stepping up the other night. Bjelica, Iguodala, Damian Lee had a good game, of course.
Otto Porter didn't even do all that well. I mean, you could.
No,
I
he was missing, bro.
Game, you know what I mean?
Missing.
Where was he?
Fuck Otto Porter. He lost me mad bread on that slate.
I thought he was going to get. Kerr didn't put him into the second quarter either. Yeah. I mean, Steve Kerr didn't play him at all in the first quarter. It took him a while to get in there, and then he just couldn't get on any sort of flow and rhythm. And by the way, Eric Bledsoe, we got a mini little Ben Simmons situation on our hands. I'm looking now. Of course, not only did he struggle in the preseason, averaged 4 points, terrible percentage. Remember, he was only 31% from the field in the playoffs last year for the Clippers as well. So you may have to take him off the floor. He can't shoot right now for this Clippers team. That's a problem right now for them. going. That's why I like Reggie Jackson. He's got to be that guy that helps out PG Paul George a little bit here in this one, and he's going to have to be that second option to score the basketball, and I think he can be tonight. So from that standpoint, and we talked about Curry, the things he did with his shot not working, the fact that they went to the Lakers Staples Center, beat the Lakers, had a great fourth quarter, made a bunch of shots. Not many of them were Curry's shots. Curry goes 5 for 21, 2 for 8 from 3-point range, and you still go on the road and you beat the Lakers. What are you going to do when Curry actually has a big night, which could be tonight? You never know. And it wouldn't shock me if it's tonight, because how many times does he have a really good game after a really poor shooting night? And you might end up seeing that from Steph tonight against this Clippers team. Wham, what do you like here, Clippers and Warriors?
Yeah, I'm kind of going against everyone here, to be honest with you guys. So I'll lighten up the mood to talk about all the good things that you guys said about Golden State. Definitely believe that Steph Curry will probably have a better game offensively here. I think we probably are being a little bit too hard on, Eric Bledsoe, just because it was a tough situation and the Pelicans. To be honest, he probably was the guy that they're really relying on the most to shoot the ball once they lost JJ Redick, which is something that you don't expect no one to be doing. As far as like an organization looking to Eric Bledsoe to shoot the ball for him. I don't think the Clippers are thinking that here. They're really efficient last year as well. I may add there, they were very efficient, one of the top teams in the NBA. Obviously, that was with Kawhi. But I believe once Kawhi went out, Paul George did step up. I do believe that he's going to take the ownership of trying to be the best player on the floor tonight, on both ends of the floor. I think that they're going to play a lot better defense on the Clipper side. I'm not really sold on a lot of the young kids playing defense, even though, you got the Wiggins kid who's going to play defense there. My look here is the money line, like my guy Soldier says, 5'8", Soldier. I'm looking the same way, brother. I think the Clippers are live here. They can get a measuring stick. We're better than the Lakers. We beat the Lakers here because we beat the Golden State Warriors, and I think that's kind of where you're seeing here with this Golden State Warriors. They could possibly fall flat here as well, even though it's a home opener. I could see them, looking ahead from here, thinking that they could just run through this team. It is going to be a tough game. I haven't bet on it yet, but this is probably, if everything's looks good by the end of the night, I'll be on that money line sitting pretty on the Clippers. Looking to double up today. So that probably is going to be it, bro, to be honest with y'all. But the in reality, though, you probably want to take the Clippers now. If you're looking back on probably plus 3.5, it's probably the smartest way to look at it. The only way I'm thinking of it that way, because if I think they're going to cover the 3.5, I think they're going to win the game as well. And they're going to play a lot better defense here. And I think they're going to be efficient here as well. Terrence Mann, year 2, he's probably going to be just as good as Jordan Poole. Maybe even better here, especially without some of the guys there. So I think Reggie Jackson is going to be a play as well, Ian. I definitely totally agree there with you guys on that. But that's probably, I'm not going to make it official just yet, but keep it locked in, man. It might be tweeted out later on tonight.
Yeah, I often do that. Like, even though I like the Warriors and I bet them -3 in this game, I don't mind taking player props over for the other team's players. And that's what I've done with Reggie, because I think Reggie Jackson's going to have to be someone that's got to step up tonight, make some shots for this Clippers team. You got to help out with the loss of offense you get without Kawhi Leonard. I misspoke, by the way, about Bledsoe. Preseason percentage was 31, not postseason. He didn't play in the postseason last year. He was the preseason shooting percentage was 31%. For Eric Bledsoe, not good at all. Billy, what do you like here with the Warriors and Clippers?
Yeah, you gotta like this game on tonight's slate. It's a short slate. The Warriors have the highest implied team total of the slate, and the Clippers are right up there too. So a lot of my action on tonight's card is coming from this game. We're gonna start it off with Paul George. Paul George over 34.5 points and rebounds. I'm gonna go right back to the well with playoff P. I don't like the nickname PG-13. I kind of like my shit a little rated R, but fuck it, man. His usage rating is 34.1.5 for this slate. So I really like Paul George. I think he can cover that just by the points, honestly. Reggie Jackson, I like him as well. To be honest with you, everybody else on this team, the Clippers, in a weird way, call me crazy, that team might not make the playoffs this year. That team's kind of trash. Like, when I'm looking at
they'll be in the play-in, bro. They'll be in the play-in. They're gonna at least be the 10th seed.
Man, that team is not that good. When I look at the Golden State Warriors, this one, man, like Babano said, Curry shot 5 for 21 on opening night, and they still got a dub. Curry was out here. He was looking like vintage Curry, just all over the place. He's looking real healthy. Jordan Poole as well. I guess they got a big role for him because on opening night, at halftime, I was thinking like, damn, man, I got bumped by playing Jordan Poole in DFS. He's got 0 points at halftime. He finished the game and he was hooping at the end of the game. So I like him. Otto Porter, I'm off. I got to see something first. Steve Kerr don't like him, man. I don't know what it was. I guess you saw him in the preseason. Was like, you're just not it. I don't know.
It's just
man.
a mirage, yeah.
Yeah,
preseason Otto.
Going back to Otto Porter, but my boy, I wish this was like a real TV show so you can like rewind the tape. Namija Bjelica, man, he was really out here hooping on opening night. I had him in one of my lineups, and I was like, I don't know if he's gonna close. And man, boy, did they have him close against Anthony Davis, man. And I was like, shouts to Wham for hitting that over 23.5 on Anthony Davis opening night. That was an easy prop. But Bjelica was looking good out there, man. I still think this dude's got some juice left to him. The books aren't really on it. Over 14.5 rebounds and points for Bjelica tonight, and over 1.5 3-pointers at plus 135 tonight. Bjelica, we're going back to the well. This is a game that I have a lot of action on, and I have a lot of watching interest in this. I think this is going to be the most interesting game of the night. The Clippers, man, I got a lot of questions about them, and then the Warriors, like Dutch said, like they about to be good without Clay and Wiseman. I guess so, man, because Iggy looked like he came out of a time machine and was hooping out there, man. And everybody else was looking – the only person that looked bad was Damian Lee, and I expect him to look bad. So it is what it is. Juan Toscano Anderson looked good. Man, Draymond was on a minutes limit, and it didn't even feel like that. And then the dude to watch out for in the Clippers tonight is what are they going to do with Justice Winslow? He might play a lot of power forward tonight and replace the Nicholas Batum minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I missed one on the Golden State and the props for this game. There is one on Golden State that I like. It's actually Damian Lee's only 8.5 points. He got 15 points against the Lakers. No, it's his birthday. You don't think he's going to want to play, well on his 8.5? He's just got to get 9. He had 15 points. He got 30 minutes. I don't know, man.
He might have been like Ben Simmons yesterday at Delilah's. For the people that are down there in Philadelphia, Ben Simmons had to take some personal time, gets kicked out of practice, and pulls up to the local strip club in Philadelphia. I will say, though, if you do want to get laid in Philadelphia, Delilah's would be the place to go in the middle of the day. So I see where Ben Simmons' head is at. So, I mean, mark him off the list.
This is where he's at on the West when the West Coast game is going on in the fourth quarter. As Damian Lee had a decent game. 15 ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
Yeah, no, it's I just thought that was 8.5 for a guy that played 30 minutes.
Chicken and the strip, what?
Yeah, the other night. What am I missing here? But I think I might still look at Lee here 8.5 just to get 9 points. With that much court time, you can't get 9 points.
Yeah, if he's getting the minutes, it's like you damn near gotta get that.
Nobody on the Warrior bench played more than him in the other night against the Lakers. So for that reason, I think I might get in.
I'm gonna throw him on the player pool, but Van, you are rapping some stuff. Like I will give you that. Like he will be on the floor.
Like it's like me. You give me 80 minutes on the court, I'll give you 2 points at some point.
Right.
The Clippers defense too. Like last year, like they're a good defensive team. Like I said earlier, when you look at this team defensively, I don't think they're about to be good this year. Like if you're one of those people that got burnt on opening night with a Curry prop, you might as well go to the point prop or something like that. Because like this defense could definitely be exploited.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the Clippers, we saw it in the playoffs last year. It's like, what is the Clippers defense? I mean, they're getting shredded in some of these games defensively. I do worry about them offensively too. Otherwise, I'd like the over as well. I didn't mention anything on the total, but I lean over 227.5. But because I do have concerns about their defense as much as their offense. But what will you get from them on the offensive end? But I still think I would lean over if I would have bet the Clippers and the Warriors total in this game tonight. Great stuff with Wham, Billy, and Dutch breaking down the Thursday NBA card. I'm going to spare anybody. Like I don't have a strong feel on the college games. I'm going to just say not much on those. Tulane SMU should be high scoring. The total 70. The baseball game, I lean to the Braves, but the Dodgers are such a prideful team. It wouldn't shock me to see them win and extend the series. The football game, you think I'm getting involved in that shit show tonight? Broncos and Browns in the NFL. Denver's struggling, traveling on the road, short week. Cleveland's got half their team on IR. 3 starting offensive linemen out, receivers banged up, 2 starting running backs out, Baker Mayfield's arm in a sling, Case Keenum at quarterback, secondary banged up. Denver, I don't want to back them. They're struggling. I don't trust them, and I can't back an injury-riddled Cleveland team. That's the easiest pass for the season for me in the NFL. Dutch, did you have anything at all on the Thursday night NFL?
Yeah, I was on the show with Jimmy, so plus it's my Broncos. But I do have a couple confident looks in these. I did have 3 bets. I kept them pretty small. Real quick though, I see Big Show. Shout out to him behind the scenes. We had 200 live viewers. I don't know how many likes we got, but we don't got enough, man. Let's get that. Hundo is Mando, like our guy Big Boss would say. It's gotta be a hundo minimum. That's Mando. We got there yesterday. Let's get there again, minimum. Let's go. But yeah, with this game, I gotta lean the Broncos, but I think the value's gone. I definitely like the under in this game, 41.5. I like the under first half as well, but I locked in the under 41 for the game. I like team total under for the Browns, 20.5, and also like McManus over 1.5 field goals, even money. 3 looks for the, for the game. I hope the Broncos can, just get it done realistically outright, but I expect a sloppy ass game. Both offensive line are not trustworthy, and both defensive have some talent to where they should be able to show out. I don't expect either team to break 20. Close game. Hopefully Broncos get it done.
There you go. All right, Billy Wham, did you have any thoughts at all, Broncos and Browns tonight?
I like you, man. I think it's a shit show, bro. I'm going to leave it alone. It's too much travel involved for me.
Sentiments exactly. Right.
I guess I'd like
Thursday
Thursday night football or something because I got a lot of bets on this game tonight, to be honest.
Oh, my gosh. We got to hear this.
Yeah, I got Noah Fant over 3.5 receptions. That's my favorite play. I'm tailing my boy Sharky. Shouts to Sharpie. Over 10.5 receiving yards for Dearness Johnson with Hunt and Chubb being out. And then I also got Cortland Sutton over 64.5 receiving yards. Javonte Williams over 47.5 rushing yards. His anytime touchdown at plus 210. Sutton's anytime touchdown at plus 200. And then Fant anytime touchdown at plus 210.
I like those Sutton props, though. I ain't going to lie. I like those Sutton props.
Yeah, like he's been hot.
Javonte's getting in there. It's just a matter. I mean, he's getting his carries, bro. I like that anytime touchdown.
When I was doing the video earlier today for the Thursday night football, can you believe he's the only person in the NFL to have 3 rushes over 30-plus yards, and he's averaging 4.6 yards per carry this season? I think he could be it tonight.
The only thing I'm hesitant is with him is he splits it with Melvin.
Gordon, yeah, I know.
That's why. But believe me, I love me some Williams, bro. He needs to get more carries. But there's value there with the touchdown for sure.
All right, there we go. There you have it. All right. Thanks to everybody for joining us. We will wrap it up in a sec. We got best bets coming up before we wrap up the show. We got to shout out everybody in the chat. Actually, we should do that. 205 live viewers. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that. Who's Knock? Eric Chang, Nathan Cerna, MMA Locker Room, Black Thor King, Shaquan Worthy, Preston. It's Ixnizzle 420, Pocket Quarterback, Lamar, Harold Williams. We appreciate everyone. Clark Townsend, Lionel Santos. We appreciate everybody joining us. Aaron A, Cash Action Bets, Jared Garrett, Ray Charles. Appreciate everybody joining us. Stephen, Michael Robertson. Great turnout in the chat here. Who else? We got Teese joining us in the chat. He's in DMs as well. That we've got the little DM group. Patrick, appreciate everybody. Of course, joining us here in the chat for this show. Looks like we got John Lee. Lucky Power. There you go. Thanks to everybody for joining us here on the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Best bets coming up first. We'll pause for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101.
So give me a water.
All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, and karaoke at Southtown 101. Manscaped promo code Pub Sports, 20% off your purchase. The Lawnmower 4.0, new and improved, and any Manscaped product at 20% off with the promo code Pub Sports. And mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. Football season, plenty of it left. NBA, NHL are both here now. We got college basketball in a couple weeks. Great time of year. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. And last I checked, Bitcoin's on the way up again. So now's a good time. Pub Sports Radio, Pub Sports promo code mybookie.ag. All right, guys, best bet time. We've had a nice start to the year with best bets right here on the NBA Pub Hub. We'll see if we can keep it rolling tonight. Dutch, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, man. Freshest look. Yeah, man. We're going to the MIA. And, I got it at plus 120, but this is a 2-unit play for me. I like this play a lot. Injuries even, make it even better. Freshest look, MIA. We're going Miami. I believe the best line right now is minus 1.5. If you get it 2.5, whatever you can get it. Miami, easy, good money. Miami Heat to win the game, baby. Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Miami Heat money line, freshest look for Dutch on this Thursday card. Wham, what do you got for best bet?
I'm going right back with him, man. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm taking Miami here as well. I think that's the best look for the day. It's going to be the money line here. You get it minus 130. I got it at plus 100. Also, I would say you could take the minus 1.5 as well. You can take that as well, but I'm going right with my guy Dutch here. I think the Miami is the best look of the night today.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Miami. There you go.
Yeah,
Again,
man.
Miami for Wham for his best bet, Miami money line. Billy Briz, what do you got? Best bet?
I got 2 plays for you tonight. We're going to go best bet, Bogdanovich over 18.5 points and assists, minus 125. That's going to be easy money. And then, fight night is coming around the corner, so we're bringing the cigar play of the day. The cigar play of the day, for the ones that are asking, is when you sit back at the end of the night, you roll up your joint, your blunt, whatever you prefer, and you smoke and you watch your money cash. Plus money tonight, too. Cigar play of the day is going to be Namiza Bjelica over 1.5 3-pointers at plus 135.
There you go. Our guy Bjelica
Sounds like
balled out the other night for Golden State. Billy liking him once again for one of his best bets tonight on this Thursday NBA card. And my best bet for this Thursday card, I'm holding out for a hero. Tyler Hero, over 14.5 points here tonight. I'm buying into the hype. I mean, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. The guy worked hard in the gym in the offseason and getting ready to put a bad season behind him to be a lot better this year. Drew Holiday not being on the court defending him is going to help a lot too as well in this game. So Tyler Hero over 14.5 points to have a bounce back year starting tonight in game number 1. And it helps that Milwaukee's a little bit depleted as well. I think it's a better matchup offensively for him tonight in this game, especially with no Drew Holiday. Give me Tyler Hero over 14.5 points for my best bet for this Thursday card. There you go. Thanks to everyone for joining us in the chat. Another great NBA Pub Hub show in the books. Make sure you spread the word. Tell everybody about the NBA Pub Hub, because we've got competition in this time slot with a lot of other platforms and channels and NBA shows. So, yeah, exactly. There you go. A little Hawks. We like them tonight too, as
That's
well.
right.
Great stuff, guys. Great show. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We will be back tomorrow on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub to wrap up the week. For Dutch, Billy, and Wham, this is Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Cash some tickets. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Friday for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to hit the like button. It's muchly appreciated. Share the video if you can. We already went in. Coming out with the motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.